Welcome back to the next episode of the Real Estate Library. I'm Nick Papalizio, and today we're talking about contingencies.
I'm gonna wait till the beat go in.
Alright guys, so let's talk about contingencies. Now, the buyer has a ton of contingencies, the seller only has one. The seller's contingency may or may not be in place. It depends. What the contingency is, it's for the seller to obtain a replacement property. If they are going to obtain a replacement property and they want to make the sale of their home contingent upon them finding a replacement property, then that is a form you can fill out. Now, the buyer contingencies are a lot more thorough than that. Remember, the seller knows everything about the property. So when they decide to sell it and they accept an offer, they're locked in. The buyer doesn't know anything about this property, so they have a time period where they're allowed to do as much research as possible and then sign off that, hey, we're good with everything, we want to move forward and continue to buy your house. Now, most time periods for the buyer are 17 days, except for one, which is the loan contingency, and that is 21 days. So these contingencies, and I'm saying this word a lot, I want you to know what that means. Contingency is basically a safety net for the buyer or seller, and it allows them to be able to cancel the agreement, cancel the offer without any repercussions. It is written in the contract that they do have the right to exercise cancellation upon certain discoveries of something that they don't like. So the loan contingency, if they find out within the 21 days for some reason they can't get approved for the loan or qualified, or the loan won't go through, or they don't have enough money, whatever, they can back out for that reason. 17 days for everything else, which would be your appraisal, which would be your physical inspection, your non-physical investigations, review of any reports and disclosures, review of any HOA documents if that applies, sale of buyer's property if that applies, the review of any leased or liened items, any documentation on that if the seller's leaving any leased or liened items, and there might be one more. I'll list them all in the description. That pretty much covers the important ones. So the 17 days for the rest of them, the appraisal, if the property comes in under purchase price, so the value of the property is lower than what you offered, you're not required or obligated to pay the difference. Now, you can ask the seller to come down on price. They can say yes, they can say no, but you're not going to be forced to purchase for more than your loan will fund. The physical inspections, you want to get inspections. You need to know what's going on with that house. The non-physical investigations, check the neighborhood, check Megan's Law, look for hazardous pipelines, check out crime reports, all that stuff, title, preliminary title report. You want to look at title, look at the property taxes. Are there any liens? Am I going to be responsible for those liens, or is it going to be part of the seller's payoff? And things like that. So HOA docs, if you're in an HOA, you want to know what rules there are. Certain HOAs have certain restrictions. Some are very strict, some are not at all. So you want to be able to review all those docs, make sure you're comfortable with that. Of course, sale of buyer's property. If you're selling a property, you want to make sure that you're contingent, if the case calls for it, to make sure that you don't get stuck with two homes or you don't get stuck homeless. So that's the gist of it, guys. I will do a very thorough video on each contingency in the future, but that kind of covers the general knowledge of it. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to leave them, and I will happily answer them for you. Until next time, we will see you on the Real Estate Library.
I'm gonna wait till the beat go in.